Okay, welcome everybody to Introduction to Business. This activity is what we've called the Box Challenge, and the topics in business that we're looking at here are marketing, but also as well how business activities are influenced by their external environment and obviously their competitors, what's happening in the economy, what's happening with society. So all of those things we'll touch upon during this activity. So first of all then, just before we start, just to have a look at the term marketing. And again, I think it's important for us to have a look at this because quite often when we ask students what do we understand by marketing, they'll say promotion or advertising. And that's right, that is part of promotion, but it's a lot more than that. So let's just have a look. So it says the management process responsible for identifying, anticipating and satisfying customer requirements profitably. So you can see there's actually not any mention of promotion or advertising. And that's before you do that promotion advertising, you need to actually decide what you're going to be providing. You know, what are you promoting in the first place? And what's really important is that is all driven by your customer needs in the majority of business cases. Okay, so we just move on. All right, so like I say, hopefully by the end of this activity, you'll have a better understanding of what we mean by marketing and its importance to businesses, and in particular, the benefits of entrepreneurs and businesses looking at trends and changes in the external environment and ensuring that this comes through in their marketing, and they don't just establish their marketing strategy and leave it like that forever. They're constantly reviewing and altering things. Okay, so just going to leave this on the screen for a couple of minutes while you have a look through them. Just want you to think, what is the link between these images that are on your screen? Okay, so hopefully that's given you a chance to look through them. Some of them you may have seen, some of them not. So if we just have a look at the next slide, see whether you were right. They're all examples of subscription boxes. Okay, so some of them in particular, perhaps you know more than others. So you've got the Graze box down at the bottom. We've got HelloFresh. We've got Pastor Evangelists. Quite a few there that I've seen advertised on the telly just recently. So subscription box then. The idea of a subscription is nothing new in business. All right, so quite often we would have a magazine, newspaper subscription, things that would get sent on a regular basis to someone's home. But what we've seen over recent times is kind of these box ideas, all right? And what will happen is you sign up to this subscription and then you get this box of goodies, if you like. So we just move on and have a look at this market in a little bit more detail. So one of the things that's really important all of the time, and really that's where your marketing comes in, is that a business has to have a competitive advantage. That's something that makes it stand out, differentiates it from its competitors. Because in many businesses, it's extremely competitive. You're all offering something very similar. So what is it that you can do that can really capture those customers? So one of the things that marketers have seen is that obviously as fashion, shopping habits and technology change, right, they also need to change as well, otherwise they'll fall behind. And businesses that kind of don't move with that time, right, in many cases, they've failed, okay? So what we've seen happening because of obviously our advances in technology is the move away from traditional shopping of these typical products and businesses offering a subscription box. So again, just to kind of reiterate what we mean by that, the reoccurring delivery of products packaged in a box to create an experience, trigger surprise and offer value. Okay, so it's really that experience and that surprise element of, whether it be fortnightly, whether it be monthly, or a little bit longer between deliveries. What are you going to get? All right, because that actually can have a positive effect on people's brains, makes them feel good, and encourages them to keep their subscription going. And actually, one of the things that kind of drove this activity was that the UK subscription box market is forecast to grow significantly by 2022, according to a new report from Royal Mail. So again, let's just have a look, all right, at, well, how significant is this? I'm just going to give you a chance to have a look through those 4 facts on the left-hand side of the screen and see whether you can correctly identify the figure that goes with that fact. Okay, so hopefully that's given you a chance to have a look through them and have a go. At the end of the day, that's all we want you to do. So let's have a look at the actual figures then. So what is that forecasted growth? Well, 72% between 2017 to 2022 is what the market for subscription boxes is expected to have grown by. All right, so really significant increase. If we have a look at the second one, so how many people actually say that they subscribe to one of these boxes? And what's interestingly is that's for themselves or someone else, because these can be a gift that you can buy for other people as well. So you can see there that that is 27%. If we look at that age group, 52%, all right, so quite significant of that younger bracket. And we can see there the percentage of food-related boxes that are bought by shoppers in 2019, 37%. So again, like I said at the beginning, where we would have magazine, newspapers, this trend really for food being delivered, and quite often it will be with a meal plan. It will give people all the ingredients that they need to quickly put these meals together. All right, so again, combining a couple of trends there, all right, of what people want to happen. Okay, so if we move on. So this whole idea of putting things in a box and getting them direct to people's houses has actually been something that we've seen come through the recent lockdown with COVID-19. And again, with marketing, and we spoke right back at the beginning, identifying those needs that people have and acting on it. So in any instance where we can have a worldwide event, obviously this can have a significant impact on a business, and they've really got to think on their feet on how are they going to react to that, right? How are they going to react? How are they going to deal with that? Otherwise they're going to lose customers. So what we've actually seen over recent months is a surge in these recipe box organisations. So we've got HelloFresh, Gusto, and Pasta Evangelis, right? So they saw a surge under lockdown, right? People maybe didn't normally cook from scratch, maybe didn't really have very much of a repertoire when it came to meals that they would cook. And, this encouraged them because they had the time. And these organisations have kind of got in there, all right, and seen this opportunity really. Other ideas as well that I've seen is trying to get the experience that people would get normally out of lockdown and trying to get that in the home. So what we've seen there is pub in a box, and what actually arrives in that box is a beer, glass, snacks, quiz, even your beer mat, all right, and your playlist to go along with that, to give everybody that night in that you would normally have going to the pub. And actually another fact that I saw is the data has shown that online searches for cream tea and afternoon tea to be boxed and delivered have also surged during lockdown as well. So again, taking these elements, these trends that are happening and adapting them, all right, as to what's going on in that situation. So this really takes us to what we're challenging you to do, and it would be really good to see some of your ideas. You can email it into us, or you can bring it with you in September. I'm certain you've all got some wonderful ideas. So essentially your starting point is a cardboard box. What you've got to do is to think about, well, how are you going to add value to that box? How are you going to turn it from just being an empty box into a profitable product that's an experience for people receiving it and a surprise? Okay, so the box itself is going to cost £1. Now, what we've got is two options here. So the first one is that you can come up with a subscription box, all right? So kind of the standard subscription box that would kind of be sent monthly to somebody's home, right? And you've got to kind of come up with your idea for that. And the second one is called Prom in a Box. Now, yourselves, all right, and a number of Year 6 pupils across the country have missed out on events to mark the end of either their secondary or primary education. And obviously that's a significant time for those students. So what we thought with this option is that you develop a box. Now obviously this isn't reoccurring, this is that one-off delivery, still an experience, still a surprise that's going to help them celebrate this milestone. Okay. So in both cases, what we would want to see from you is a very brief business plan, so no more than a page. Think of a name for your business, a possible strapline, again, to kind of encourage people to choose your product, and design that packaging. Remember, you know, we've got that experience, that surprise element. So we want people to be pleased when they see that package come to the door. We want to, what are you going to put in your box? All right, why have you chosen this? And then particularly more like for option 1 more than option 2, although you will need to say whether you're going for Year 6 or Year 11, but what's your target customer going to be? All right, so a little bit of information about who you intend to market your product at. And then how are you going to make yourself stand out? Okay. Also think about how you intend to promote your product with an explanation of why this is suitable. And again, what we will probably see here is because of developments in technology, you may touch upon the use of social media, all right, to support with your ideas here. So that's your options. We really look forward to seeing your ideas. And like I say, you can email them to college and we will get them, or you can bring them along when you start in September. Good luck.